Did you know the X in X-Men stands for xylophone? Yep, xylophone men. Not a very intimidating name, which is why they just pretend they're named after the X gene that makes them into mutants. Speaking of the xylophone men though, how about we take a trip down memory lane and strive to beat X-Men Legends, the 2004 game, all without a team wipe. Not my memory lane, since I was obsessed with Marvel Ultimate Alliance and didn't know this existed until recently, but someone's memory. So just in case you don't know what I mean for team wipe, I mean if my entire team is knocked out and I see the defeat screen, it's game over for me and I have to restart the entire game. Whenever an ally is knocked out, they'll stay knocked out for the whole mission, however long it is, unless I revive them, which I'm not allowed to do. I can replace knocked out members, but if I lose all 4 of the current members on my team and see the defeat screen, that's it for me. With that hopefully made clear, let's go heroically save the world as the legendary Xylophone Men. The Brotherhood of Mutants, previously known as the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants before they realized that this kind of branding somehow makes them look bad, attempts to kidnap a kidnapping. Poor Allison Crestmere, aka soon to be known as Magma, is getting grabbed by the authorities for being a mutant, and the Brotherhood kidnaps her from that for their own purposes. Wolverine is on the case though to rescue her, and oh, well, I died. Gotta say, adamantium bones and a healing factor aren't worth what they used to be. Starting again, I'm much more aggressive in my approach. Some could say too aggressive when I start chucking people into the flames, but whatever works. I also destroy a lot of the city's trash cans for health and power packs, but something tells me the people will not appreciate my actions. I am curious why so many of these very useful packs are getting thrown away, but I guess one person's trash is another's treasure and all that.
The game's over, X-Men!
It can't be over, it literally just began. Short game.
Continuing my pursuit of the Brotherhood, I find my way blocked by Mystique. I'm not sure why Wolverine can't just go around this locked gate, but I guess he really respects those do not step on the grass signs. Mystique hits hard and doesn't take much damage, but that's why I've been hoarding health packs, so I can persevere through it all. With Mystique down, I guess we can just leave her and hope she won't trouble us again. We don't even bother to tie her up. Alrighty. Continuing my pursuit of Blob who grabbed Allison, I'm joined by Cyclops. Trying to use Wolverine to fight the tanky Blob is an awful idea, but when I realize I can just spam Cyclops' concussive beam, things go a lot better. With Allison safe, we book it back to the X-Mansion so that I can ace the trivia game. Also, to ensure Allison's safety, I suppose, but trivia is a greater concern to me. Well, that and snooping in everyone's rooms while they're away, I'm confused why being shown everyone's personal rooms and being allowed to root through their stuff is part of the tour, but I ain't gonna say no to doing it, so who am I to judge? After I'm finished being a little weirdo in the mansion, it's time for the X-Men to assemble or roll out, whatever catchphrase they use, and go stop the Brotherhood from stealing high-tech equipment. Unfortunately, that tech is protected by a bunch of soldiers, including 2 frickin' tanks. Storm is an amazing hero with the incredibly cool power of controlling the weather, but that doesn't include the ability to withstand missiles to the face, it seems. Guess you can't win them all. Wolverine, though, is a very capable tank buster, and X-Men never get left behind. Nah, not really. We fully abandon her out here in this dangerous freezing land and replace her spot with telekinetic Jean Grey. I know that looks bad, but okay, well no, it's pretty bad, but she's perfectly fine next time we see her after the mission, so I guess we have top of the line healthcare. The true benefit of being an X-Man. Another almost as great benefit is being telekinetic and just pushing people around before they can even get close. While I like to have Wolverine handle nearly every problem as the rage monster with natural healing that he is, he's not very useful when the enemy is resistant to physical attacks. That's where Jean Grey and Iceman come into, well, still punch and throw you around, which may seem like a physical attack, but it's not. Not fully anyway. It has layers to it, like an ogre or a parfait. That brings us up against Toad, the mutant who, well, has the powers of a toad. Aptly named he is. Not sure why it takes 4 seasoned X-Men to take down the lowliest of the Brotherhood, but he's surprisingly tanky. Little gross that he keeps licking us, but I suppose if I wanted to end a fight, trying to lick my enemies would do it. The xylophone men push through the licks until the toad croaks. Surprisingly, we actually think to lock Toad up this time, unlike the last two foes. I suppose licking is a worse offense than shooting me, so I get it. Unfortunately, the Brotherhood got away with their tech, which will allow them to hide from mutant-killing sentinels. While talking to Nightcrawler about said sentinels, he knocks me into a flashback of when he and the other X-Men took on a rampaging group of the machines. These killer machines hit like, well, giant killer machines, but Wolverine is quite great at shredding them if I spam his powered strike. When I try to switch things up by playing Cyclops, Scott goes down right away. Hurriedly switching back to Wolverine, I recover from that down, but it's not long before even my raging Canadian can't withstand the Sentinel's beams. Much like X-Men movie executives, I realize without Wolverine, I have no chance of success, and both Jean Grey and Nightcrawler can't survive on their own, despite my best attempts. At least restarting means I get to show off my trivia knowledge once more, and yes, I am surprisingly single. I know it's a miracle, before I take off to the icy lands and this time ensure Storm survives the tank encounter. Admittedly, I still switch her out for Jean Grey, but at least she's still conscious this time, so she shouldn't be unhappy. Jean Grey, on the other hand, probably has good reason to be upset when she's overwhelmed by soldiers and knocked out. Now it's Storm's turn to replace her, so I guess it worked out in the end. For Storm, anyway. Reaching the flashback again, this time I pour everything into Wolverine, never switching from him and constantly refilling his mutant power so he can unload all the damage possible. Turns out, sheer pure offensive really is the best defense, and all the Sentinels are deactivated in no time. I then get to go into the Danger Room simulation room for training as Magma, and that's just free experience points, so that's all good with me. Then I'm off to another flashback of when the team fought the unstoppable Juggernaut.
But why? It's such a nice mansion. Think of the property damage. The property damage. Who cares about the lives?
He's surprisingly really easy to stop, so I suggest a different description for him, like the never uses doors and causes untold property damage Juggernaut. Doesn't roll off the tongue, but at least it's accurate. Time for the heroic X-Men to do the job other heroes like the High and Mighty Avengers won't do. It's time to go down into the disgusting sewers, trudge through the filth, all so we can beat up every poor mutant living down here in their fear of the surface world. Let us show them the surface world is willing to come to them. Gambit went missing when he was down here earlier, snooping around in their home, so it's okay that we're beating them all unconscious. Some may die from their injuries, but that's a risk we're willing to take. When Cyclops goes from nearly full health to downed before I can blink, I'm still willing to take risks. But that catches up to me when my controller disconnects at the exact moment I was going to heal Iceman back up. I hope neither of them mind us leaving them for the sewer people to take revenge on, but Nightcrawler and I are not made for this. A good deal of these brutes are nearly immune to physical damage, which is what Wolverine and Nightcrawler specialize in. Fleeing in terror like the mighty heroes we are, I almost make it to backup when Nightcrawler falls as well. Only Wolverine's healing factor is what saves us. Thankfully, I have backup to call in so we can have revenge on them for defending themselves. It doesn't take too long to confront their boss Marrow, and she's a pushover when I keep spamming my claw attack. We knocked out dozens and dozens of sewer people, but Gambit is safe, so that's what I call a good day. Before we can get home, Professor X orders us to take a detour to a US aircraft carrier that is currently under attack by the Brotherhood. It's crawling with soldiers and sentinels that want to kill us, and they're effective too, as Cyclops unfortunately finds out yet again. I gotta stop taking that guy everywhere because it never seems to work out for him. I'm just glad we managed to save 8 innocent sailors from drowning before the ship sank, but I wonder if we should worry about the dozens of soldiers we knocked out. Hopefully, all that heavy armor and weapons make great flotation devices. We probably served the Brotherhood as distractions, as Mystique easily sneaks past the soldiers and rescues the Brotherhood leader, Magneto himself.
But we'll beat Magneto, right?
I'd like to think so, but this time feels different. Magneto's never been so sure of himself that he went on TV and declared global war.
What do you mean? It's like a normal Tuesday for Magneto. It's his favorite hobby.
Strangely enough, I'm forced to play the first mission of the game again, but this time as Magma in a training simulation. They don't level up any of the enemies despite me being way over leveled, which makes this level a joke to face. But I'm not laughing in contempt for long, as the level directly after is a flashback with Wolverine. There's no time I'm more vulnerable than when I only have one team member, and the guards here have beam weapons that rip away my health. Good thing I carry about so many health packs and Wolverine deals so much damage, but neither of those do me any good when the environment itself seeks to kill me. My heart leaps with me as I jump over random pits that would lead to instant death. Who makes a hellish room like this? Were they expecting a breakout? Or do the scientists that work here all have amazing acrobatic skills that they like to show off? I don't have those skills and am instantly killed by this. Well, actually I have no idea what this machine is for, other than ruining my day. I struggle as I've become too accustomed to a team backing me up, but I miraculously overcome the first level of the game and things go smoother for me from there on. Unless you're Iceman, in which case you'll be forced to chill far more than you might like as I keep overestimating how much damage you can tank through. Turns out, not a lot. If it means anything, I always replace him with Jean Grey, and it never takes her long to follow him in defeat. Pretty sure that means I'm an idiot.
Oh, well, Jean's dead. My bad.
I'm extra sure of my stupidity when reaching the sinking ship again, and Iceman goes down for the third mission in a row, which makes matters extra complicated as he was key to making bridges so we wouldn't be instantly killed by the electrified water. Jean Grey can do it too, but she's the one holding the ship together this long, so what's my brilliant idea to handle this? Abandon my team with Storm and let her fight everyone on her own. And you know, it actually works. Until I reach the exit out of here, and the game won't let me go on without my full team. So, I continue my genius behavior, not by switching my team to more flyers, or even realizing there's a jumpable path on the other side of the room. No, I get Nightcrawler to teleport over, and Storm to fly over, and then just hope for the best with the two jumpers. The best is not what I get, 2x X-Men is what I get instead. Technically, that means the two survivors are a full team now, so the game lets me continue. It all worked out, and that's all that matters, right? Unless you ask Beast, Wolverine, Iceman, and Cyclops, as they may have something else to say. If they were still conscious, that is. I'd be inclined to agree with them some minutes later when I return to Weapon X. I worry about dying on that obstacle course again when I'm taught the wonderful value never to worry about things in the future. Worry about the present, where I'm vaporized by an energy gun and killed before I can even get that far. Marvelous. Time to try again. Oh, well, Cyclops just jumped to his death for no reason.
Cyclops, you idiot! Why? And that's our leader. Okay, well, let's leave him for hypothermia to kill.
And Iceman is unconscious again. Poor guy can't stand the heat. Nothing I can't push through, unless I accidentally make Wolverine an easy target for Sentinels.
Oh my god, there went the majority of my health. Wolverine, no! I can't, I literally cannot survive without Wolverine. I can do this, but I'm gonna have to be so smart. Wolverine, please get back up. You have a healing factor. I need you so badly. For the team, I mean, not romantically. I need to make that clear.
Without everyone's favorite hothead, Cyclops falls right after, which means I stop putting out any damage, and the rest of the team topples. It's a frickin' flashback. How do you even lose in a flashback? Was Nightcrawler retelling the story, and he suddenly was like, oh, right, we died, and he just faded away? Whatever the case, there's nothing to do but click begin story again, and hope I can be smarter. I wouldn't go so far to say I do play smarter as X-Men drop left and right, mainly Iceman. But I do take extra time in the danger room for an extra level up to make up for the lack of intelligence I've been displaying. I continue to display my genius when I accidentally kill both Wolverine and Cyclops back to back when I run them right into sewage. How was I supposed to know that sewage was more deadly than all the other sewage I've been wading through? The bridge I created to purposely avoid it, you say? Well, who asked? Surprisingly, still conscious for once, Iceman carries the day and brings us to victory over the sewer people. Well, almost. Wouldn't be me if Iceman actually survived the mission. Reaching the optional Weapon X mission once more, this time I take the utmost caution with the commanders carrying the energy weapons, as dying once to them is more than enough for me. I only need to rely on Wolverine's hard-hitting slash move to down them rapidly, but besting them brings me back to the obstacle course. I singed my body a few times, but nothing healing can't fix. One nerve-wracking jump later and I'm finally free of this cursed level. Then I'm off to stop a nuclear meltdown, which serves more as a nice relaxing vacation. With Jean Grey's mental shoving, I can ensure no one ever even gets close to me, and even Iceman survives the encounter, which really says a lot about Jean's power level.
Yes, my name is Allison Cressmer.
How delightful. I'll bet all the boys are chasing after a pretty girl like you. Men, they're so easy to own.
You know, we just met. What kind of introduction is this?
I do begin to worry when I start a mission as Cyclops all alone. He's not exactly been my most powerful hero as of yet, but I'm pleasantly surprised to find late game Cyclops is far more dangerous now that I've upgraded his blast so much. Spamming them and never even trying to throw a punch works wonders, and it's not long before I run into Havoc, Cyclops' angry brother, and Wolverine, who both join me in exploring the old Weapon X building. We're attacked every step of the way, but between Wolverine's one-shotting claws and Cyclops' rapid blast, there's little chance for our enemies.
My beam solves all problems, big or small. Oh, except for that.
The challenge takes an unexpected turn in my favor when Jean Grey, Emma Frost, and Professor X enter into the astral plane in order to cure Colossus' sister, and the game lets me play as the Professor. He's double the level of any of my normal team, and even though he's only available here, he makes it count, smiting shadow demons like they're nothing. It's almost like taking the world's strongest telepath and putting him in a world of the mind might not work out well for the bad guys. Unless the plot demands it, of course, then suddenly Professor X's limitless power is no match for the sinister Shadow King in a cinematic. When I revisit the underground dwelling mutants in order to track down the Brotherhood, I discover that playing Storm at this point is practically cheating. Her lightning strike is nearly always available, hits multiple enemies at once, and if it doesn't one-shot, Storm proves that lightning does strike twice and even thrice if needed. Honestly, from here on, I try to minimize using Storm because how easy she makes everything as probably the most powerful member on the team. Though Colossus probably would prefer I keep using her when I get him killed 3 seconds into using him. At least it's not Iceman for once. Why can't the villains ever put their base in the back of a Taco Bell or something? Always with the uncomfy burning volcanoes and sewers. Sabretooth and Avalanche ambush us, but using Cyclops' high-powered beam attacks, the fight is over before I know it. Per usual, as with many of the games I play, victory means defeat when the villains run off and seek their teleporter, so we can't follow them, which is the whole reason we were in here. Because of our failure, Military General Kincaid gives a very expressive rant about being a racist who hates mutants, and we must all die or some nonsense like that, followed by Magneto saying 2 can play at that game and covers the entire world with asteroids. Nice to see everyone woke up today and drank plenty of their crazy juice. With the military threatening mutant mass murder on one side and the Brotherhood threatening a general mass murder on the other, it's time to get focused and take the fight to the streets. Someone has to protect all the mutants from rampaging sentinels after all.
This is just unprofessional. Where are you? You there! Super unprofessional. You're super late to trying to kill us. Ah, too little too late now, pal.
Despite how hard-hitting the Sentinels are, between Cyclops now playing MVP and Nightcrawler's endless teleportations, they're no match for the sheer damage output. I don't have a lot of health, and I've honestly barely upgraded health throughout the game, focusing all my efforts on doing as much damage as possible. It's risky, but it's working out when I can beat every enemy before they really threaten me.
Guys, seriously, we need to talk about wearing different outfits. Something. Coloring our hair different, I don't know, but we're making it too easy for them to figure out which one of us are mutants.
Heading down into the sewers again, I take the coward's path forward, I admit, and have a leisurely stroll shocking everyone into oblivion. Least this time it's racist psycho soldiers and not poor sewer folk. Well, mostly not sewer folk. Their boss Marrow is an exception, but after enough electroshock therapy, she changes her whole outlook and decides to be cool about everything. Things have been going exceptionally well lately, so it's long past overdue for trouble. Heading back into the astral plane in order to free Professor X, things do start out well. The minions are a little challenged, but the same cannot be said for the bosses. Even eviler, more powerful versions of the Brotherhood, Pyro and Avalanche, force me to gulp down healing potion after healing potion. Wolverine may be a wonderful ball of rage and damage, but that doesn't serve him well when merely getting close to Pyro is enough to be melted. As for Avalanche, it's endless damage and knockbacks, which is too much for Cyclops and would be enough to wipe out my team if I didn't happen to have Emma Frost with us. Activating her diamond form, I'm resistant to knockbacks and take minimal damage, allowing me to very slowly whittle away Avalanche's health. But with those bosses down, the final group boss fight is surprisingly easy, and the X-women make light work of this evil fake X-men that the brainwashed Professor X sicks on us. I don't think I've ever said a sentence with the letter X more. Unfortunately, we never accounted for the idea that the Shadow King will say, I'm out, and whisk Professor X away, so I guess we'll be back later to try again.
Darn this metal fence. What will we, the X-Men, do? Especially since one of us can just teleport, but apparently not past the metal fence. They've thought of everything. Colossus, you alright, buddy? You hit too many tanks? Okay, well, you just do you, buddy.
Taking the fight to the Sentinel factories, I enjoy the wonder of Colossus as he one-punches tank after tank, and then henchman after henchman. The enemies hit very hard here, but I only need one punch normally. If only I didn't miss every other swing, but I guess that's the trade-off.
I'm not going to.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, nobody go into icky water. Good to know. I'm not sure that sketchbook was worth Nightcrawler's life, but live and learn. Well, not Nightcrawler.
Optic
No, you just optic raised. Okay, actually you killed somebody. Alright, that works. Never mind. Carry on.
Greatness could only last for so long, and in desperation to save Cyclops from death, Colossus rushes in and is melted for his troubles. But Cyclops lived, so I guess heroic sacrifice for the win. I wish it had been Cyclops who died, I gotta admit.
Colossus, no, you were everything! Oh well.
Having defeated the Sentinel factory, we return to the astral plane, and I easily destroy every foe with Jean Grey until I fail to realize what the void looks like until it's too late.
Oh no, that's a whole. Oh, well, she's dead.
will do.
My bad, Jean, I didn't realize.
Thankfully, the rest of my team can handle it, and we free Professor X so that he can easily brawl the Shadow King. Easily, mainly because I've been hoarding my healing potions, plus the Professor's ultimate power is nearly always ready to be spammed.
It appears I'm in need of aid.
No, I noticed. Psychic Maelstrom. I got something you'll never see coming. Psychic Maelstrom. I will do the move.
Tried harder.
Psychic Maelstrom. Alright, here we go again. Get ready, man. Psychic Maelstrom. God, he never sees that one coming. Oh, here we go. Psychic Maelstrom. Psychic Maelstrom.
With the Professor safe, it's time to fly up to Asteroid M, Magneto and the Brotherhood's fortress, and take the fight to them before war breaks out between mutants and humankind.
Savage rampage!
That was really a very slow Savage Rampage. Oh, I fell through the ground.
Better!
Not bigger or better anymore. He just fell through the ground and died. Goodbye, Wolverine. What unfortunate timing. Or the fact that it happened at all.
Magneto is backed by his Brotherhood, and I expected quite a battle, but I'm almost disappointed at discovering a giant metal fist to the face solves all my problems. Who knew the man made of metal would cause so much issue for a mutant whose whole thing is controlling metal? But I ain't going to complain. Of course, right as Magneto falls, General Kincaid unleashes his army of Sentinels upon us. But there's no stopping us now. My one-punch wonder does everything. Even when the General shows up as the final boss, it's a nothing problem to me, and I laugh as I demolish his Sentinels. My laughter is abruptly cut off, though, when suddenly all my X-Men are frozen in place and torn to shreds in heartbeats. I have no clue what just happened, but miraculously, Iceman of all people is the only survivor, and I race to the nearby team call-in to bring in reinforcements. With my main team down, I'm not hopeful, but I decide to fully rely on Rogue, another who throws a mean punch, even if it's not to the same level of Colossus. I start to panic as all my health packs run out, but right before defeat can swallow Earth's last hope, I let loose one final power punch and bring the General down. With that, Magma saves Asteroid M from flattening the Earth, and the General is arrested for crimes against humanity and mutanity. Huzzah! After 5 deaths over 27 hours, 11 minutes total, and 12 hours, 41 minutes for my final run, I've beaten X-Men Legends without dying. It had a lot of ups and downs, and my luck could change in a heartbeat, but it was truly a fun experience. I thank you all very much for watching and hope you enjoyed. I'm off to unleash my amazing own mutant power of being able to hold my breath for longer than 30 seconds. Pretty impressive, am I right? Okay, I lied. Only 15 seconds. I'll figure out my power someday. I wish you all the best and hope your day is full of positive acceptance and hope. If not, then let your inner chaos reign. See you soon, friends.